Drinks full. I'm ready. Let's do this thing. Hey guys, welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I am Monk. How are you? Hope you're well. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. I really should check my audio before I started. Damn it. Hate when I do that. How is everybody? I've had a couple of days off. I got to spend some time with the little ones this weekend and it kicked my ass. I am such a manly little man. There we go. We're good. And yeah, so I just took it easy because I know the next several days is gonna be busy. Busy, 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 busy. And it's great because this is my Super Bowl, you guys. Well, one of them, because I actually do like the Super Bowl too. It's election day here in the United States. Brace yourself, world, because we're making decisions again. And last time we did that, we elected a dementia patient. So God knows what we'll do this time. Oh shit. I I I'm cautiously optimistic going into today. Everything I've seen tells me Trump is going to win this thing. We're just going to get right to the predictions, guys. Under every normal circumstance, Trump wins this hands down. It's not even close electorally. Look, Kamala has a really good chance of winning the popular vote because California exists. And as long as California is as big as it is, and the left coast over there is as entrenched with Democrats as it is, Democrats are going to win the popular vote, and that's not a bad thing. We'll get to this in a little bit because there have been pushes to try to get around the Electoral College, and it's stupid. But yeah, I I am a little worried going into this that Kamala could prevail from the weirdness that we've seen already. Pennsylvania votes coming in, well, the ballot requests coming in from clearly fraudulent sources, to Chinese people voting here in Michigan, to touch screens that clearly aren't working, to Dominion machines that put barriers in the way of handicapped people. I don't fucking know what's going on with this place. The white woman vote is scaring me. Here's the thing. White women have overplayed their hand and everybody's finally starting to notice it. I think that they have oh, thank you, Dangerous. I think that they have really hurt themselves by not shutting the fuck up. And I mean that sincerely. I think that we're going to see some backlash against them this time. God, I hope so. All right. You know what? Let's just jump into the electoral map. So, guys, the site that we're using here is called 270towin.com. That is the numbers 270towin.com. And it's a little map you can use yourself. It's an interactive map where you can decide who gets that state, and it'll show you what that does to the electoral count. And in this case, we have 7 states that are brownish. I don't even know if latte color. I don't know if the color of people who say they like coffee but don't actually drink coffee because they just put a whole bunch of shit in it. That's a long name for a color. We'll call it white girl brown. White girl brown there is all of the swing states. The other states, you'll see some of them are dark blue or light blue or dark red or light red. Those are leans. I love that Texas just leans. It's just leaning to the red side. Yeah, sure. But they're pretty solidly in their camp. There's no way California goes Trump. Same with New York, Trump. I know you really want to win your state. I mean, that is where he's from. He lives in Florida now, but that's where he's born. He would love to win. He would love to be the Republican who takes fucking New York. Not going to happen. Khaki. I like white girl brown better, though. It might be khaki. You're right. My dad was in the Navy and had to wear khakis. They were that color. My dad used to wear white girl brown. Anyway, this is the map as most people agree it is right now, without the swing states. All of these other states, people, except for Iowa, which we'll talk about Iowa real quick. Iowa had the Des Moines Register poll come out the other day, and shockingly, it showed Kamala Harris had a 3-point lead. And a whole bunch of us who watch polls and politics went, what the fuck are you talking about? And the lady who does the poll, who's in charge of the poll, she went on Mark Halpern's show and explained her methodology. And as soon as she did, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. The way they do their poll is they ask, in this case, it was over 1,000 people for, to take the poll, and they only used 800 of them. They got rid of 200 and some because they didn't say they were definitely going to vote. So they only counted people who said they're definitely going to vote. They said they're probably going to vote. She's like, that is not good enough for us. All right, fair enough. I guess we'll see what happens in Iowa, where Trump has won the last 2 elections, and there's no indication. Not her, but somebody else trying to explain it said it happened because of the abortion ban in Iowa. It pissed the women's off, which I could go for. I could see that. However, they did a poll in September, and Trump was ahead there and in line with all the other polls. And that law passed in June. So we should have seen it there. White girl brown, so pumpkin spice states. Yes, indeed. That is pumpkin spice colored right there. It could be a little more orange to be true pumpkin spice, but white girls put all kinds of shit in their coffee. Let's be honest. It's a bunch of nasty shit. But thank you, Pumpkin Trucker, for the donation. I appreciate it, my friend. All right. So why are we putting ones in chat? What did I miss? Anyway, long story short, going into today, the general consensus is Kamala has 226 points. Those are hers. She's got it. Trump has 219. Those are his. There's no getting around it. So we have those. The rest of these states are going to determine. That's why we call them the swing states. Nobody's real sure which way they're going. They're close enough. These are going to determine who the president of the United States is. And we're going to play a little game here where I show, well, it's not really a game. It's just me doing, you know what? It doesn't matter. Let's just go on, shall we? Before we go on, I got to tell you this. This weekend, I got to spend time with the second youngest granddaughter. She was the youngest until just a little while ago, but she's just over 1, and she and I sat together for probably a full hour, and she's at that point where she has a lot to say, but she doesn't know words yet. She understands you, but she can't get them out herself. Did you get a chat? You dipped a bit. I did. It's on the screen. I'll get it in 1 second. And as I was sitting there listening to her, and she's just telling me these stories, I realized that it was like watching a Kamala speech, because clearly there's something on her mind, but I couldn't make out what it was. And then I felt really bad for comparing my granddaughter to Kamala. True story. All right. Thank you, Sepphoris. I'd love to see Trump take Washington, but Seattle gets the biggest say in the say, despite being outvoted by the rural counties. Half the reason why I'm leaving the state. Yeah, I don't blame you. I couldn't live on the West Coast. Seriously, it's there's a reason they call it the left coast, and it's a bunch of fucking dumbass. You know what happened? Hippies have taken over, and they never really left. So it's just like, it's a flea infestation there. No, it's slabs. You dipped well before that. Oh, that one I got. Let me make sure there wasn't a second one in there. But yeah, Pumpkin Truckers came through, and we did that one. Yes, yeah, got that one. But thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, so on our map here, the 7 swing states: Nevada, Arizona, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. We saw Kamala do a big push through many of these states in the closing. The weird one was North Carolina. North Carolina, I don't remember seeing her hit at the end here. She might have, but it wasn't one of her major ones. She hit Nevada, she hit Georgia, she hit Michigan and Pennsylvania. She just kind of has ignored North Carolina. I think even her camp has conceded that one. Same with Georgia, even though she went down there. She pulled her ad buys down there. With several days going into the election, she had $2 million. She had $2 million in ad buys there that she pulled. And that's usually a sign that I don't think I can win this, so we're gonna stop wasting that money. Dark Resurrect, thank you so much for that feminist $12. Since it is election time, I have to ask this again. Thoughts on Razor's want for county-based electoral college? Um, if you're talking about on the national level, I don't like the idea. Because the whole idea behind the electoral college is that the states get representation and no one state can override them. You know what? This is a good time to bring up Nebraska and Maine. I was asked about this on Twitter when I shared my map. Somebody said, "Why is there a blue one in Nebraska?" They didn't notice the main one or didn't bring it up, but it's there too. And what this does is in those two states, instead of giving their electoral votes all to the winner of the state, they apportion it based on how many votes they got. So, like in Nebraska, there's 5 total votes, but if Kamala gets 20% of those, she still gets one of the electoral ones. As Monkey, it's more for state-based politics. I've seen Razor's argument that the states should go to an electoral system for their state voting for like governor and that stuff. Again, I don't know. I see why. I see why he thinks that's a good idea. I don't know that it would change all that much. Um, eh, I don't think it's necessary on the statewide level. Because the whole idea is that the state is its own entity. If they want to do it, that's fine. But I don't think it's a necessity like we have on the federal level. Pumpkin Trucker, thank you so much. Speaking of pumpkin spice, hey Kamala, unzips. Time to do what your husband says. Put your head down and go to work. Yeah, that was an unfortunate use of wording from Doug Imhoff. Poker, thank you. Hope all is well, ladies and gents. To you as well, my friend. Cali's definitely the most overrated state. I mean, look, if you're poor and homeless and shit, go live in California because it's usually warm there. Go live on the beaches and stuff. But otherwise, leave that state. It's a shitbag. It is a shitbag of a state because they've let illegals and hippies run it. And those are two really bad things. Cities are fucking over their state's rural population all across America. Um, yeah, I mean, again, I just don't think it's a necessity. I get the idea, I really do. Would I support it here in Michigan? Maybe, maybe. I just don't think it would have the same effect that Razor thinks it will on the statewide level. I don't think it because if they did it the same way we do the electoral college, it's still going to be based on at least partially on population, and the bigger population centers are still going to get more votes. The only way you could do it would be to purposefully make it uneven. Tyra, I thank you. Trump visits Harrisburg and visits military base. Kamala visits Harrisburg, ignores military base there. This speaks volumes between the two. Well, look what happened with Joe Rogan. She just couldn't go on Joe Rogan. That would have been like 3 hours and she'd had to fly there. But she had no trouble going on to Saturday Night Live to break the fucking law. Yeah. Hey, Kamala's a bad person and a bad candidate. She just really is. The only reason she has any chance in this race is because of 9 years of the media just preaching Trump hatred. That's it. All right. Let's start breaking this down. We're going to go ahead and give Georgia to Trump. And we'll leave it pink because it doesn't matter as long as it's red or blue. Doesn't matter how light it goes to that person. We're doing this because she pulled her ad buys, and that's what the polls are showing. Apparently, having Stevie Wonder and Usher and the fat chick didn't help her in Georgia. Was it no, Lizzo was in Michigan, right? Who was it down there? Who was the female that was with her in Georgia? I forget. Don't care. It's not enough. So we give Georgia to Trump. North Carolina, that one is just going Trump. That's where all the polls have been pretty much all along. You add in the failures of the Biden administration with the hurricane, and I do not see how North Carolina goes to her. Could it look, I do need to say this. All of this is just my opinion. I'm not Miss Cleo. I don't have special powers. This is just my opinion based on what I saw. Now, with that out of the way, almost every, and I say almost every because I may have seen one that didn't, but almost every prediction that I've seen has Trump winning Pennsylvania. So we're going to go ahead and put that one in his column too. It is really close out there, and let's just say shenanigans happened last time. So I'm not as sold on him definitely winning Pennsylvania, but all signs point to that. Now, if you're paying attention to the top of your screen, here we'll scroll it down so you can see it a little better. You'll see that right now, with just those 3 states, Donald Trump has enough to become president. The reason this is called 270towin.com is because you need 270 votes to win the Electoral College. And in this case, if he wins those 3 states, which nearly everything I've seen, every guess that I've seen shows him winning those 3, then he wins. He just does. If he loses any one of those, he needs at least 2 of the others to make up for it, because none of the others are as big as those 3. So if he loses, say, Pennsylvania, he needs 2 of the other states. Arizona, Michigan would definitely do it. Arizona, and it wouldn't even, he would actually need 3 if Nevada is one of them, because Nevada is only 6. So there we go. That's enough to win right there. And I do think that's going to happen. I think this is going to be the map. That leaves us just with these other weird ones. I think Nevada is going to go Trump. I think that he's going to win this one. And all of the Jennifer Lopez's out there crying with old Mexican bands isn't going to make much of a fucking difference. Arizona, I'm going to give to Kamala, and I'm going to tell you why. It's not that I think Kamala is doing great down there, but the last 2 elections we've seen out of there in 2020 and 2022, a lot of weird shit happens in that state. It doesn't matter what the polls say. It doesn't matter what the law says. It really does just seem like no matter what, they're just like, fuck Trump. Arizona's corrupt as hell. That's been my experience of all potato. So I really do think that just to hedge our bet there, that Arizona we will go ahead and give to the Democrats, because they really, really, really want Arizona. I don't know why. Probably the illegals, the access to the illegals. I mean, they can literally just walk across the border. And they're like, give them to us. We'll put them to the rest of the states. So we give those 2, one to Trump, one to her. Let's do Wisconsin next. Wisconsin, I think is going Trump. I really do. Once again, all of the polls, they've been close, but they're all pointing to him. We went through them the other day. And there's no serious polls out there that show her pulling away in any major capacity. And while the news tried their damnedest in the last 7 days to throw everything at Trump, from he's a Nazi to he wants to kill Liz Cheney, their newest one, he's giving a speech talking about how Michelle Obama hit him, and he asked, can I hit her back? And they're like, he's talking about hitting women. He was talking about rhetorically hitting her back, using words, in other words, insulting her back, because he's been warned, hey, don't go after her. She's really popular, apparently. And so he's like, can I hit her back? And they said, no, sir, don't hit her back. And he's like, but she hit me. And they were like, but sir, you don't need to do this. You're winning. Excuse me. But that's not how it got put out there. It was like Trump wants to beat women. But even with all of that, I think it's too little too late. If they started the same nonsensical push 2 weeks ago, maybe it works. Maybe. But if you look at all of the polling except Iowa, the swing states, which Iowa I still don't count as a swing state, but whatever. The swing states are all over the full last month trending towards Trump in the polling. All of them. And Iowa only swings towards Kamala because of that stupid Des Moines Register poll. So at this point, we're 286 to 237, which leaves only my state, Michigan. And I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what's going to happen here. I think Trump could win this one. But I'm not going to be surprised if Kamala wins. We voted in this state in 2022 to reelect Gretchen Whitmer, despite all of her clear flaws because of abortion. But my uterus. And I think we'll probably see that in this election too. So just to be fair, because Trump doesn't need it anyway, we'll make that one light blue, which gives us a final total of 252 to 286. Again, as long as Trump wins Georgia, North Carolina, and Pennsylvania, the rest of this really doesn't matter. If he picks up his one in Maine and they only lose one in Nebraska, then he just needs those 3 states to win. Now, let's get a little crazy here because I still think Trump can win Virginia. I really do, which puts him at almost 300 and what we would call an electoral landslide. So Virginia, I need you guys to get out there and vote for Trump to make me look like I got magical powers and the media will care what I say for the next year. That's not true. I have actually, okay, I'm going to say predicted, but it's not really a prediction. I have correctly guessed the last since Clinton won the first time, since 92. And it's not that I got, oh, you poured over the, no, just paying attention, And the second Bush election, I predicted down to the percentage. I had that, and it was all on the internet, so it's not like I'm like, I did it, haha. You could probably still find the post somewhere over on the Bill Maher boards. When you're looking at this kind of stuff, it's very easy to try to put your own bias in there. Not to try to put it in there, but to put it in there without trying. That's what I meant to say. Like Virginia here. Let me grab this real quick. You'll notice that when I gave you guys my final total there, I didn't include it. And even though I think Trump could win it, the likelihood of him winning it is not very high. He needs a pretty big change in what we've seen from the polling and stuff. He needs that to be off by quite a bit, basically 4 points or so, for him to win that state. So as much as I hate to do it, I do count that as like probably going to Kamala. You got to be honest about these things. And whether I would love to see Colorado go red, but there ain't no way in hell it's happening. Keldrick, thank you. One of those retarded anonymous accounts has been shilling hard for Harris lately. It's the funniest shit I've seen all week. Do you think Anonymous has always been this retarded, or is this a new development? Anonymous has always been retarded. Their hero, the little mask they wear, is a failed terrorist. A ridiculously failed terrorist. And they're like, I want to be like the loser. If you have to ask if that's retarded, I don't know how to help you. Anyway, yeah, so this is my final map. I think it's going to be 286 to 252. And, yeah, we'll see what happens with it. There's not a lot more to say about the prognostication here, but it won't take much to change this to where she wins. It really won't. Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. Don't hope for Virginia. We're doomed. Northern Virginia keeps reelecting that window licker Tim Kaine. And that's fair enough, but Virginia did elect Youngkin, and it was very close. So V for Vendetta was cool when I was 21. V for Vendetta was never cool. It wasn't. It was stylistic, but it was not cool. Anyhow, um, oh my goodness. So yeah, if Kamala wins, say like North Carolina, she still can't do it with this makeup. It really does come down to how these three states go: Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia. Those are our real swing states here. Any one of them can be overcome with any two of the others, except for maybe Nevada. Nevada, but yeah, it boils down to those. And where I'm sitting, this look, I want Trump to win because one, I think he's a better candidate. Two, I really don't like what the Democrats have been doing with lawfare, and that shit cannot be allowed to go unchecked. And three, I think it would be funny as hell to watch the media melt down over Trump winning again with all of the resources that they've spent to make sure that doesn't happen over the last 8 years. I mean, he got a. I'm saying 8 years going based on the election night of 2016. Ever since then, they have been dedicated to making sure he does not get a second term. And if he gets one after they got Biden elected, oh dear God, the meltdown will be amazing. Amazing. But when you're doing the prognostication game, you got to put all of that shit aside. As much as I want it to happen, if I thought Trump was losing, if I thought the polls were indicating it, that the momentum was indicating it, I'd tell you. Told you guys in 2020, I thought Biden was the winner. And I know, look, guys, forget all the cheat stuff, blah, blah, blah. He did become the president. And if I thought Kamala was going to be the president, I'd tell you. I've been wrong before, not very often, but it does happen. So, Frosted, thank you. Do you think the recent polls suddenly showing Kamala closing in are just pollsters covering their asses? Or is there any validity to them? They have me a little nervous. Also, if Kamala loses, Dems never let her run again. Her campaign was embarrassing. Okay, let's deal with the last part of that first. If Kamala loses, we never even hear her name again. She's the Clintons will have her taken out and shot. They're not, no. You cannot lose to Trump here and have a career after this. They might dust her off in, 8 years and be like, remember this dusty old rag? Well, she has something to say, and pretend like they care about her. But she is a bad candidate. She just really is. And this has been a horrible campaign. Any other person, if they weren't running against Trump, loses this with her campaign. If Ron DeSantis is the nominee right now, he wins this in a walk. And before anybody gets pissy about that, no, I'm not saying DeSantis is better than Trump, but a lot of the hatred just goes away. They tried getting a lot of this hatred towards DeSantis in the lead up because they thought he was going to run. They didn't think Trump was. So they're like, hey, we got to take him out. But it never caught on the way that it has with Trump. And frankly, they haven't spent as much money doing it. So it's not that Trump is a worse candidate than him overall. It's the amount of hate and vitriol and the near decade of bullshit coming out of the mainstream media that makes Trump the worst candidate here. Anyone else is just trouncing her at this point because she has been such a bad candidate. Now, as to the polling, guys, I do see the donations coming through. I just want to answer this and I'll get to all of them. Keep sending them. It's fine. I just want you guys to know I do see them. Do I think the polls are part of a cover their ass? No, I think, as with all polling, I think they're pushing an agenda. This is why you have to dig into the polls and see how they did them. It being close in the polling for Kamala is not good for Kamala. It doesn't look good if you know what's going on with how they do polling. Even though more recent polling has showed us that Democrats are no longer the bigger party, at least as far as registration. they still weight these things more towards the Democrats. I think that it's a psychological thing, and this has been studied in psychology. It's not a new thing. There is this idea that people want to be part of the winning team. So, why does the thumbnail make Kamala look hot? The thumbnail makes Kamala look hot because Grok has a boner for Kamala, and I don't know why. They really want to bang her. Maybe Willie Brown fed some information to Grok, and it makes Grok smile. Almost all of the cartoon and renderings of Kamala from Grok make her look attractive, which is weird because she's really not. I think she used to be, but now she looks old. And I like older women, but she doesn't look like a good-looking older woman. But to answer your question, Frosted, I think that there is some validity in those polls, but only if you know what you're looking at. Thank you, Evolved Potato. From what I've heard, Arizona is basically a staging ground for the Californiization of the rest of America. So they flooded with California money. So if they made interstate donations for state-level politics, the left would crumble there. Yeah, if they outlawed interstate donations in local politics, the states would look a lot different. It's amazing how much money from California or Texas go into other states. And there was one more. Where was that one? Hang on. There it is. Snubber, thank you. I am not hopeful. It still looks like the 2020 states are blue versus the 2016. What do you mean? The 2020 states are blue. If Trump wins North Carolina, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, he wins. And again, I have not seen any prediction where this is not likely. I don't want to say I haven't seen none, because maybe I've seen one, but yeah, I can't think of any, I guess is how I want to say it. So there it is, my final prediction, guys, 286 to 252. And I'm either going to look really stupid or like I know what I'm talking about. And I guarantee you both are true. All right. And moving along. Oh, man. Okay, I do want to bring up Peanut. We got to talk about Peanut. Your thumbnail is too wholesome for this shit. LOL. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's to bring in the normies, man. We can't have my normal stuff up there because the normies run from it because I use F words. The first voting has taken place. The first counting has taken place. The town of Dixville Notch. I love the name. Dixville Notch voted this morning, and of the 6 people who voted, 3 of them went for Kamala, 3 of them went for Trump. I brought up Peanut. That's all I'm talking about. This is a non-squirrel channel. I think what happened there is fucked up, but I can't in good conscience stand up for a squirrel. They're long-tailed rodents. Snubber, thank you. Pebbles, Peanut. Yeah, what happened there is fucked up, but it's New York politics. I don't think that has anything on the federal level. You know what I mean? I guess maybe you can think, hey, Kamala's going to come kill your squirrels. Animals are preferred to Democrats. Animals are preferred to Democrats who want to kill animals for political reasons. And Fred the raccoon. Yeah, I haven't heard as much about the raccoon. I know I've even watched videos with Peanut. Was adorable. And what they did there was really fucked up. So I just don't have a lot to say about it other than they went and killed a squirrel and they let illegals all over. Yeah, Frosted. They do raids for squirrels, but illegals are just let go. Well, you see, Frosted, there's no chance that a squirrel's going to rape a child, and they really like child rape in the Democratic Party. Or they seem to. They really seem to. We have a video of Kamala Harris, and I'll have to tell you, we are on the AT&T, and it is storming outside. So if the video's choppy as hell, hopefully the audio isn't.
Your gun control agenda? I think it's a great idea, but I mean, listen, I don't think we lack for great ideas. As I've said many times, we've been having great ideas for decades. The problem is that Congress has not had the courage to act.
Congress, we've had great ideas. Congress just won't push them through. I do love that she says, I think we have great ideas. Like anybody is out there advocating. I think we have really bad ideas and we should do them. It's one of those nonsensical things that people say that they think makes them sound. I think we have great ideas. Well, no shit, you think that. You're wrong, but whatever. I think we have great ideas. Well, if you thought they were bad ideas, would you be pushing them? Because that's what I hear when you say, I think we have great ideas. If we had bad ones, I'd push those too. Peanut was cute as all get out. Yeah, they are. But Jack kills a lot of squirrels, so I don't know that without being hypocrites, we can talk about that too much more. All right, so she thinks she has great ideas, and Congress just they're too pussyfied to take your guns. So,
and that is why, from the beginning, I have said my agenda includes attempting to get Congress to act. But if they don't within the first 100 days of my administration, I'm going to take executive action, because what we need is action.
If this is a woman who is out there telling you Donald Trump is going to be a dictator, who just told you, if Congress doesn't do what I want, I'll do it anyway. You mean like a dictator? You mean like absolute power, your way or the highway kind of shit? Because that's what you just described. Donald Trump's a dictator, and I will do whatever I want, regardless of the law. We heard her say, and some people accused me of being hyperbolic, but she said the other day, I won't let anything get in my way. You mean the Constitution, the law, none of that shit is going to get in your way. And she just confirms it here. If Congress doesn't do what I want, I will do it anyway. I will give federal action on the executive order level, which, by the way, will be funny as shit because it will get challenged in court and she'll get smacked down for trying that kind of shit. But only if Republicans have the balls to push back. You know, they didn't do it with DACA, and that's why DACA is still a thing. Obama had no right to do that shit. And they let him get away with it because they're like, we might lose votes if we don't. And so when it did finally get challenged, the court overturned it because, and it was just a new executive order from Trump, and they overturned it because you didn't follow the rules exactly. They're doing shit they say Trump would do. And it is amazing how often Kamala has done this. I mean, the other day we watched her closing argument, right? Where she's like, they preach fear, and Donald Trump's going to send the military if you disagree with him. Like, well, am I not supposed to be afraid of that? Why would you use that as a talking point if you don't want me to be afraid of him doing that? You know what I mean? It doesn't make a whole lot of fucking sense. But yeah, it's because they're a bunch of blatant hypocrites. Look, you accuse the other side. We've talked about this with cheating spouses before. Okay, please understand that this is not an always thing. But there is a chance that if your spouse is accusing you of cheating out of the blue for no fucking reason, they're cheating on you. I mean, it's happened over and over and over again. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I didn't get one come through. Hang on a second. Let me refresh. Should have a stream. Oh, there it is. I'm so sorry, my friend. Yeah, this came through like 7 minutes ago. What the fuck? I'm sorry, sir. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you, Circus Zero. I think Trump has Michigan. I've seen a lot of Trump signs in places in dark blue areas of Michigan, like Ann Arbor, Kalamazoo, and Detroit. Up here, I would say it's probably 95% Trump signs. And I don't want to put too much weight, I think is the word. Too much weight on the sign thing. But the enthusiasm gap is very real. Did you guys see the video of this idiot trying to get her crowd to chant with her? Oh, let's find it. Man, I posted a bunch today. I didn't even realize I was on the computer that much. Is this the long version? Yeah, yeah. This is the one we want to see. So Kamala had an event, and I just want to start off by listening to the crowd. Maybe it's the cadence of how they're saying Kamala. Does that sound like a happy cheer? If you listen to the cheers from a Trump rally, people, the tone of their cheering is jovial, joyous even. But her crowds, they always sound almost robotic. It's like, Kamala, that's what we're supposed to cheer right now. Right? Kamala, we will win. It's the most robotic shit I've ever heard. But this part is even better. So they're chanting her name.
Let's vote. Let's get out the 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 vote. Let's win.
She can't get her own crowd to cheer, to chant along with her. They're like, what is this bitch saying? This is I watched this clip way too many times today because it just made me fucking laugh. The secondhand embarrassment is amazing. Let's get out and win. Let's get out and vote. She couldn't even make up her own cheer. She had to keep changing it. Oh my God, it's fucking wonderful. So yeah, I just don't see the enthusiasm for her. That doesn't mean people won't get out there and vote because they hate Trump and vote for her. There's a lot of people who are doing that, including, I'm using air quotes here, some Republicans. Gotta love the banner made by fifth graders. Well, if it was actually made by fifth graders, it'd be great. The fact that it's made to look like it was made by fifth graders is pretty sad. What the fuck is this? This is Kamala Harris trying to lead a chant at her own rally, and the people going, I'm not saying that. Oh fuck. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that. Feminist $12. It's simple. The Trump chants are usually USA or Trump. They are quippy and easy to sync cadence. They also sound like war chants, which I enjoy. LOL. Well, again, it's not just the what they're saying; it's the tone of the voice. I get you with they're like Trump is easier to chant than Kamala. Kamala just sounds robotic. It sounds like an AI trying to pronounce Kamala. Kamala, one of us, one of us. How many South Park fans out there? Yeah, it's. I don't see enthusiasm for this woman at all, and this has been a problem for the Democrats in the last two elections because nobody was enthusiastic about Biden. Nobody. He literally only wins because of the Trump or the Trump hatred and the media hiding all of his flaws, including his clear dementia at the time. All right, what else do we have? Kamala. How do you not get your ah? It's called believing your own press, is what it is. Monkey, that movie or that South Park episode was referencing the movie Freaks. Oh, I haven't seen it. That would be why I did not get the reference. So, whether you're a South Park fan or a Freaks fan, you understand the reference there. Evolved Potato, thank you. I would like to caution people in Michigan, even if there are a lot of Trump voters, they might just threaten people's children, and Kamala wins. Yeah, I mean, they did that with the folks in down there in Detroit in the election board in 2020. I'm going to hold my thoughts on any kind of cheating and stuff until after we see the results. Strange shit happens every election, guys. I want to see the win, and then we'll see whether or not I want to point and say, hey, they were cheating. I think I think all of the cheating we have seen already needs addressed and should be brought up. And frankly, if Trump wins, it needs to be yelled louder. Just because it gives more credibility with people. Like, no, we even won and still think this shit was fucked up. Jack, my friend, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay. Sorry I'm late.
No, man, you're fine. I've already given my prediction. You want to make a prediction for today?
Yeah, it'll go something like, please clap.
We just watched that video.
Oh my god, that was so sad.
Since Jack's here, I'm gonna cue it up again because it's funny as fuck. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a tight one because of all the fortification that's gonna be happening.
Fair enough.
But I predict right now, I think Trump is gonna win. Barely. Because of the cheating. I'm sorry, now, fortification.
When you say barely, how do you mean? Because, like, I pointed out, as long as he wins Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Georgia, if everything else goes the way most people are saying it is, that's 270 with those three, which is as razor thin as you can win in the electoral.
Yeah.
Do you think like that, or are you talking like even on the popular vote?
I don't think he's going to get the popular vote just because of the cheating. I think that we're going to see him barely get enough from the electoral college. Because I don't think he's going to get Pennsylvania, though. I think it'll be a combination of a couple others. I think there's enough shenanigans going on in Pennsylvania. They're disenfranchising people. I think North Carolina's a lock because of the hurricane. And Georgia, probably for the same reason.
Well, as I pointed out to these folks, I don't know if we've talked about it on here, but it's been almost a week since Kamala pulled all of her advertising in Georgia.
Yeah.
She canceled a $2 million ad buy in Georgia, which, with a week left in the election, who does that if you think you have a chance there?
Yeah.
And judging by the polls that we've seen, she should still think she has a chance. So I'm thinking her internals are really bad there.
Yeah, I think the actual polling that's going on is a lot worse than they're telling us, and the pollsters are just lying through their teeth.
All right, so just because you're here, we have to do this so we can enjoy it together.
Thank you. Let's vote. Let's get out the 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 vote. Let's win.
That is so cringy.
Let's win.
You know what I didn't notice the first 100 times I watched and laughed at this?
What's that?
This is in Scranton.
Scranton. That's Joe's hometown.
That's Joe's home turf, and she couldn't get a chant going.
Yeah, that chant of Kamala, if you look close, you don't actually see people saying it. I'm wondering if that wasn't like a laugh track kind of thing.
What little you hear is so muted, it wouldn't matter if it was real. That she could not. They were clearly much louder chanting Kamala. Pumpkin Trucker, thank you. It's going to be a tight one. Things that have never been said about Kamala. You don't know which hole they were using. Anyway.
I suspect he's correct. By the way, thank you, Evolved Potato, for the 2 donations there. The last of which says ignore previous message. So thank you for those. I'm sure they were likely accidental.
Dangerous asks, how the fuck could this even be close? Could this be even close? Because of our media.
Yeah.
If our media was honest, this is not close at all.
No. The fact that she can't answer a straight question should disqualify her on a very massive scale. Instead, the media is just pumping her up. They're doing the usual shitting on Trump and exposing him, plus all the generalized fortification that we've seen going on in a lot of these sites already.
Yeah. Again, 2020, the biggest fraud was our media. That's just fact. And this year, with all of the shit we've seen already, the biggest fraud is still our media.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yesterday they were saying Trump ended by saying he wants to hit Michelle Obama. Yeah, rhetorically, he meant he wanted to insult her back. He wants to beat women. It is such a blatant fuck. ProPublica, just as part of their abortion thing, Jack. They've been pushing abortion real hard for the last month. They, on October 31st and November 1st, they released 2 news stories of people who died because they couldn't get the abortions they needed. And a bunch of OBGYNs just came out with a letter because of that to the politicians there in Texas, because these are both Texas cases, Jack.
Oh, of course.
To scare the women's that, hey, even if you're not having an abortion, they're going to kill you because of abortion bans. And they tell the story of 2 women, one of which died in 2021 when Roe versus Wade was still the law of the land. I'm using air quotes when I say law. So even under Roe, it wouldn't have changed. But in the first case, Jack, chick goes to the doctor. She's miscarrying. It's listed as she's in the middle of an active miscarriage. The baby's head is pushing up against the cervix. The cervix is dilated to 8.9. She's 17 weeks along. There's no way this baby lives. And they waited 40 hours before they did anything because, well, we detected a heartbeat and the law says heartbeat. It's not what the law says. The law says if there's a medical emergency, then that shit goes out the window. You take care of the medical emergency.
Yeah.
But no, see, the abortion law, no, that would be bad doctors. Malpractice is exactly what it is. But they're presenting it this way, like, see what they're doing to they're going to kill the women's. In the other case, the woman is much further along. I forget the exact amount, but she's, I want to say even in her 3rd trimester. And she goes to the doctor because she's not feeling well. She's vomiting, and she goes to the emergency room, and they send her home. Told her she had strep throat. Within 12 hours, she goes back to the emergency room, and they check her out and find out she has sepsis. She tests positive for sepsis, and they send her home. So the next time she went to the doctor, she died, because she had untreated sepsis, none of which had anything to do with her baby.
No, that's definitely malpractice.
The baby was still alive. It died with her. And the doctors that they talked to, well, maybe if they pulled the baby out, she could have lived. The fuck are you talking about? This isn't like the Amber Thornton or whatever the fuck that bitch's name was, where she'd had an abortion and the baby was still in there and it rotted. No. She got an infection somewhere else and she became septic and they didn't treat it. And they're like, see how abortion kills people? They're fucking dirty, man.
Of course.
So when you guys ask, how can this even be close? That's how. We have a press that just fucking lies. And women are up in arms about this stuff.
Broads get dizzy. I don't know what to tell you.
Verifier says it was a political stunt. There's only 2 choices. Either really bad doctors, which is a possibility, Jack. Bad doctors, not a new thing. Or you have doctors who are on the abortion side who are letting patients die so that they can have these stories and push a political agenda. Neither's a good outcome. But when incompetence is your best excuse, there's no saving you. Incompetence is their best excuse. Those doctors involved, especially in that second case, Jesus fuck. Sent home twice from the emergency room, once when they knew she was septic. Are you insane? Anyway. Jack, I don't know if you saw, but Elon Musk was on with Joe Rogan today.
Oh yeah. Oh, real quick before we get to that, thank you, Frosted Glass. Personally, I think elections are kind of archaic. I'd prefer if the two candidates wore leather-studded underwear, oiled up their chests, and wrestled for the office. It's good enough for John Michael Thor, Mikhail Thor. It's good enough for America, damn it. That's true, but that leather underwear, the studs should be pointed, not flat like his were. And yes, they have to make the same like angry faces. Oh man, that movie was fucking amazing. It's called Rock and Roll Nightmare. I highly recommend it. It was so much fun.
I just want to say I don't want to think about Trump oiled up in leather.
If you saw John Michael Thor, you wouldn't want to see that either. But here we are.
All right, I want to play just a small clip from him being on Rogan before I talk about the part I really want to talk about in this interview. For the record, I've not seen the entire interview, Jack. I think I watched like an hour and a half of it. But I got to be honest.
All I got through before I fell asleep. Yeah.
A lot of time, especially lately with Joe's shows, the middles drag for me and I lose interest. Maybe that's me getting older. Maybe that's Joe having some of the same people on over and over where they're not really talking about much new.
Yeah.
But anyway, this part I do find to be rather important.
I'll say it again, man. I think this is the last election. If Trump doesn't win, this is the last election.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think
now, for the record, and he'll get into it in a minute, before any of our little nut huggers come by and go, he's saying there'll be no more elections. He's not saying that. He's just saying they won't matter. And he's right. And we've talked about this. The move, notice where they're moving all the illegals across the country, Jack.
Yeah.
Did you see a big influx of them into Washington State? The only reason they went to New York is because Abbott's a jackass with a sense of humor.
Yeah.
They're going to swing states. They're putting them in states they think they can change the vote on. Anyway.
Demographics change.
Yeah.
People, and a lot of people are waking up and realize that have been lifelong Democrats. Guys like Bill Ackman, guys like Chamath.
Yeah, exactly.
Tulsi Gabbard switched over to the Republicans. Like there's a lot of people who their whole life they've been left wing and they realize like, I can't do this anymore.
You and I used to be Democrats.
Yeah.
So
yeah. It's nuts.
It's nuts, man. If the Dems win this election, they will legalize enough illegals to turn the swing states, and everywhere will be like California. There will be no escape.
That is.
He talked about this on another show where he blames Reagan's amnesty for how California is right now. And he's right. California did not used to be so solidly blue.
Nope.
Reagan won California.
That was the point where they're like, that'll be enough of that.
Yep.
It was too embarrassing for the Democrats.
Reagan made that dumbass deal that we give amnesty if they promise to, secure the border. They got amnesty, and we're still talking about the border 40 years later.
Yep.
So Vance said it on Rogan too. Yeah, because it's true. It's what happened. And it's what's going to happen if the Democrats win. Kamala will push through an amnesty bill. Guaranteed. If the Democrats control Congress, it will happen. At the very least, what she'll do, Jack, is like she told us she was talking about guns in the clip we watched, guys. But I'll executive order that shit if they won't give me what I want.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And if they pack the Supreme Court high enough, they'll get away with it too.
Now, what I really wanted to talk about with Elon being on Rogan is they start the show talking about video games. And I learned an interesting statistic there about surgeons who play video games. And if I have surgery ever again, I will insist that my surgeon is a gamer. 26% less mistakes from surgeons who play video games.
Hand-eye coordination, yeah.
That does not seem insignificant. That seems like it should be mandatory. If you're going to be a surgeon at this hospital, I'm going to need you to sit down and play some Call of Duty.
May I see your Call of Duty skills, please?
I need to hear your gamer words, or you're not operating on me. But the one that really got me is that Elon Musk is a top 20 worldwide player in Diablo. I'm like, wait. You run Tesla and Starlink and Twitter, and you're out on the campaign trail with Trump, and you have enough time to become one of the best players in the world at a video game? What am I doing with my life, Jack?
I ask myself that a lot. I resolved to not being that. So I'm a good bad example. I don't know about what your excuses are, but that's mine.
AP, my friend, what's up? Let me know if you want to hang out, man. We haven't talked in forever. You mean
What's up,
nerds
AP?
make less mistakes than DEI hires? No. Yeah, right. Well, in fairness, I mean, this does go back even before DEI hires. The hand-eye coordination is the real tell there. It's been known for a long time that hand-eye coordination is improved with video games. For all the people who are like, you shouldn't play video games, you should just watch TV. Of the two, at least the video game has some redeeming value. Get good scrub is what Musk is saying. I felt like he was talking directly to me because I'm sitting here going, I was struggling with the campaigns in Planet Coaster, and he's killing it in Diablo. Fuck, I suck.
To be fair, he probably did the Diablo thing a while ago. The game has been around for a while.
He's talking about Diablo 4, the new one.
No, never mind. I don't know.
He is
years of life. I don't know.
He is an active, avid gamer. He actually is.
Yeah.
When Diablo 4 came out, he did a stream playing it. I'm working right now. Swing by on election night if you're on, though. I will be. We're going to be going live around 8 p.m. tonight when polls close.
Yep.
And I'll be here until I get bored of being here. Or my internet cuts out, whichever goes first, Jack, because who knows?
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Video games train our future warriors for drone piloting. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want a drone pilot that can't fucking play Halo 3.
I promise
that's not
you,
good.
Despite that one moment in Far Cry 5, I promise you I could pilot a drone. Me and Satsu jump into a plane for the first time when we're playing, and I'm like, I'll fly it. And I forgot about pulling down on the stick to make it go up because I hadn't flown a plane in a video game in a long time. So I pushed forward and we immediately went into the water. It's one of the greatest moments of our streaming that we ever had. In that same game, we were parachuting one time. Actually, we were using wingsuits, and he flew right up my butt and killed himself. We had a lot of fun with that game.
Apparently.
I hated the flying in Far Cry 5. I didn't like the planes much, but if I had a helicopter available, I was in that damn thing. Monkey did his JFK Jr. impression. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. These things, or John Denver. Didn't he go down in a plane in a river or in a lake?
Yeah.
I discovered Tabletop Simulator. Shit is really cool. Tabletop Simulator is awesome. It's a great resource for all kinds of games, man. All right. Do I care about that one? Not really. I do have a lot of clips on my timeline of Elon from that because it was an interesting thing, and I do find the guy to be entertaining. But let's move a little bit away from election stuff, Jack, and let's listen to a whiny little bitch. Are you up for some whiny little bitch, Jack?
I mean, it's kind of what we do here, so.
I love pretty much the entire environment in FC5. FC5 I loved. I played it repeatedly. I beat it several times, which is not usual for me to do it in a game. That's how you know how much I like a game is how many times I beat it. And Far Cry 5, I've beaten at least 4 times and played it a whole bunch more. Is it Sneeko? No, I forget this dude's name, and I'm not going to learn it because I don't respect this whiny bitch enough to give him that kind of attention.
Much like whores, we don't
Yeah.
bother to learn their names. We just make fun of the whiny bitches.
Yeah, we're not kissing them.
Yeah. No.
Severus, thank you. I've been playing Division 2 and Ghost Recon. I have Division 2 and I played it a little bit when it came out, played the original Division as well. I had fun with it, but I don't think the idea works quite the way that it should.
Real quick, thank you, Keldrick. Monkey was sodomized by Satsu, says source familiar with the matter.
True. I mean, it was like that scene in Hancock. I'll put your head up his ass. I love that they actually filmed that dude with his head up the other dude's ass. It's an amazing moment in cinema. That's all I'm saying. Anyway.
Understand what I'm saying. Being like a streamer or any face on the internet is harder than a 9-to-5 in certain ways because it fuck you up mentally.
Yep. It's one of these, Jack.
Oh, God. What? Seriously.
Being a streamer is harder than a 9-to-5 job in some ways because it fuck you up mentally. Hey, homie, go be an EMT and watch children die and see how that fucks you up mentally.
Yeah, no shit. Be a mortician and oh my God. Oh, it's so hard, my job. Oh my God. This is the easiest fucking job I've ever had next to that sweet security gig where I guarded that abandoned factory.
I would say it's easier than that though, because you occasionally had to get up and walk around. You don't even have to do that.
Cardio though.
It might have been better for you, but this is easier.
Yeah. I mean, well, that one I could kind of sleep at if nobody was looking. But yeah, this is like the easiest job ever. Anybody bitching about this is fucking pathetic. That's why when Hassan said it, I thought it was ridiculous. Hassan doesn't do anything but sit on his ass and watch other people's content. I bet this asshole does the same thing.
Sepher says this guy's FaZe Clan. Is he? That makes sense. That makes sense.
What's FaZe Clan?
FaZe Clan is a group of gamers that do some competitive gaming and hang out together and touch each other's genitals when nobody's looking.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. So he makes a bunch of money because 12-year-olds watch him?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh. It's hard.
Oh, it's so hard. Oh, my life is so complicated. Shut up. What a fucking baby.
I hate... Oh, go ahead.
The people that put the most of this job are people like AP who have the animation stuff going on. That's probably more complicated. I don't know shit about how that magic voodoo works, but okay, you're doing real work. We're sitting around talking with avatars. This asshole's sitting in front of a camera. Big fucking deal. Boo-hoo. Shut up. Yeah, it's time consuming. It can be draining. It's not the hardest fucking job ever.
Frosted, I have to correct you there. He says, no, Jack, Hassan also interviews terrorists. No, he doesn't. He has pleasant conversations with terrorists.
Yeah, that was...
That was not an interview. That was a friendly conversation with a terrorist.
Yeah, that was providing aid and comfort to the enemy.
Now, waking up every day and go to a job and lifting boxes, like depending on what you're doing, that's just tough too. That shit is hard. That shit is very hard.
I love that that's where he goes to for really hard work is lifting boxes. That's as deep as his brain can get for what could be a hard job.
Yeah, this dude's never
shows.
been like a roofer or in construction or out working on the road or a garbage man or any of the other million jobs that are way more difficult than this.
This is, oh God.
That shit is very hard. It's very hard. Like, you feel me? Especially when you're doing a job you don't enjoy doing. That shit is tough. That shit will fuck with your mental. You might want to, you feel me? You might be tired of it. You might be unhappy. But being a face, like being a top streamer, is difficult because of.
I don't know how well you can see it because it's a very dark video. Do you see the room he's in?
Yeah, it looks like a gymnasium.
He's
with a lot
got
of
a full-size basketball hoop in this fucking room. You could play half-court basketball in this room. That the seating alone there is several thousands of dollars. And he's bitching to you guys. You don't know what it's like to have your face and be top streamer. If you could literally take years off of what you're doing and live like a king, I don't want to hear about how fucking hard your life is.
Yeah, you're a whiny little bitch. Your life is not hard. You're, in fact, very, very comfortable. And you're like, oh, it's so hard showing my face on here every day and talking at you guys. You just don't understand the pressure I'm under to be beautiful.
Wait for it.
Supermodels have a harder job than we do.
Here's where here's his real complaint. You ready for it?
No, hang on. Thank you, Dark Resurrect, for that feminist donation. It's my own personal experience as a lab tech. One of the most soul-wrenching jobs is I have to go to a room after a code to draw labs to help determine what cause of death. Immediately after. Family's still there and all. Yeah, fuck that. No.
Wait.
So that's hard. That's you have to deal with emotional bullshit then. You're dealing with dead bodies and the family and their grief. Nope, that's not cool, man. Don't want to do that. I've seen that. No way. No how. This dude. Oh, but that's nothing compared to what this guy goes through.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you're in that very emotional moment with families at their worst, and this guy. Don't you understand? He's on the internet. He sits on his ass for however long he wants that day because he gets to decide his own schedule and has to talk or play video games. Do you understand how hard that is?
It's challenging. I mean, it
rough.
Might be 2 hours. It might be 2.5 hours. It's a lot. He might even play a video game in front of you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You know what? My friends used to do that shit for free with an audience of like 3 people. Because we were offline hanging out and be like, all right, you're dead pass control over here. I'll try. See if Mario can make it on my turn.
I asked on Twitter why it's always these guys. You never see somebody who's got like 10 people going like, this is the hardest fucking thing I've ever done. It's always the very, very wealthy people.
Yeah.
And
well, like,
why is it always that? And one of the responses I got is because they've deluded themselves into thinking they have to work every day. And that annoyed me a little bit as an answer. And I'll tell you why. Because as a fucking cripple, I went years without a single day off.
Yep.
Often streaming several times a day. And it's nowhere close to the nicest 9 to 5 I had.
Oh, God, no. I mean, look, you get tired doing this sometimes. I'm not saying it's not in some way taxing, but it's not going out and stocking shelves even.
No.
He was saying, you may not like your job moving boxes or whatever. Look, that's physically demanding, but it's brainless work. That's more boring than anything else. But this guy's fucking retarded.
Can I just point out, you and I get paid to be ourselves.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all we do here.
Yeah, our income is strictly based off the audience too. Like
we don't have
pay us. We don't get any money. There's no ad revenue.
Yeah, there's no brand deals or creator house that we get paid to be ourselves. It's what these guys get paid for. You play video games, they pay you a bunch of money for it. Shut the fuck up. What are you whining about?
Yeah, and you know this asshole's got brand deals. Otherwise, he wouldn't have all this goofy shit. At his level, he's got brand deals of some kind. Or sponsors or something.
We do need to get to his big complaint. This is what makes it harder than, drawing blood right after somebody dies in front of their family.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that I hate this man already.
All the shit you go through in terms of like living life. I promise. I'm telling you, gang. You are literally seeing thousands of niggas give their thoughts on you every second. That's not supposed to be. Like, no human brain normally should be able to tolerate that. Just
Turn off your chat, dumbass.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but pretty sure Keanu Reeves gets this at least the level of input you do, and I guarantee you he works harder than you.
If you get annoyed by your chat, you can literally turn it off. You can ignore it completely.
Like, how smooth brain is this guy that he can't just ignore the chat? Because I've noticed a lot of these like super well off guys are so emotionally stunted by stuff they see in their chat. Like, it actually like causes them some sort of consternation.
There are people who cannot take the criticism. I've known creators personally who I've had to tell them, stop reading your fucking comments. They could get 100 great comments and they get one bad one and they're like, I can't believe how much I suck. That's not the job being hard. It's your inability to take criticism or ignore bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to have a thick hide.
Yeah.
Or just stop reading chat, which is probably going to be better for you.
But y'all don't understand how hard this is. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, unless you're dark side Phil, I don't want to fucking hear that argument anyway, because most people's chats like them, or they wouldn't be there.
This kid was running a dying channel until he got into FaZe. This kid is that fucking soft. If I was FaZe, I'd kick him out for this shit. Like, why are you being a whiny bitch and making us look like whiny bitches?
Yeah, this is just embarrassing. Oh, it's so hard taking criticism. Grow up. High school was tougher for me than your job. Shut up, you baby. Oh, these soft, spoiled little Nancy's.
Thank you, Verifier, for becoming a member of the channel. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Verifier.
Once Amazon closes their Twitch shop, these low IQ individuals better had made savings instead of making basketball courts inside their homes. I'm interested to see what happens with Twitch with all the, especially the pushback against Hassan and the guy who owns it coming out and being like, "We treat everybody equal. There's no place for hate."
Right.
All right, moving along.
Apparently that guy threw a temper tantrum because Iron Mouse beat Kai Cenat during Twitch's subathon. Well, yeah, he looks like the kind of guy that threw a temper tantrum because somebody did something better than him.
They're children. That is a big problem with the ones who say this. Even Hassan is a fucking child, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're emotionally stunted. Look, somebody said that you stop aging when you become famous. I forget who said that. It's
Kanye.
Quote.
Kanye.
Yeah, and he's right.
Yep.
Say what you will about Kanye because he's crazy, but he's absolutely 100% correct. And a lot of these guys got famous coming up when they were, relatively young, and most people under 30 these days are somewhat emotionally retarded anyway. No offense, guys, but let's be honest, nobody told you to man up soon enough. But these guys like this are absolutely emotionally stunted, and they are frozen in that time period because they hang out with 12-year-olds all the goddamn time. So they're just like 12-year-olds.
Imagine losing a subathon to a Latino V2 mouse. That is kind of funny.
That's comedy gold. I would hope his name was at least Speedy.
And this isn't on the same level as stupidity that we just saw, but something I did see that I have to talk about. I was just reminded because of this conversation. Ashley St. Clair, you fucking idiot, you bimbo brain bitch. She said men really need to get out and vote. And for men today, voting is their Normandy. If you think going to vote today is in any way comparable to Normandy, you're a fucking retard, and I want you out of my country.
Uh,
How dare you denigrate what those men went through with that stupid shit?
yeah, that's a really stupid comparison. Look, we haven't had to shoot our way out of communism yet. It'll probably happen, don't worry. But not yet. What happened at the beaches in Normandy was a butcher shop. It was just people charging the beach hoping the Nazis ran out of ammo.
Yeah.
That was a meat grinder if ever there was one. It was probably one of the worst atrocities in history because of that. We were just throwing guys at them like, keep going, keep going. Eventually you'll win. No, that you cannot compare those two things. Sorry.
I was so fucking annoyed when I read that. I'm like, yes, men, you need to get out and vote. Stop letting women decide how the country is run. Yes, we're outnumbered, but there's enough women who agree with us that we can take this shit back.
I crashed my car. It's basically 9/11.
Yes,
Right?
yes. Voting is your Normandy. Are you fucking retarded?
Well,
Thank you, tall person. Let me grab this real quick. Tall person, thank you. Happy National Donut Appreciation Day. And I do appreciate donuts. Just stopping in. We'll watch in full later. I'm off to vote. Vote well, my friend. Vote well.
Indeed. I saw a cop pulling into a Dunkin' Donuts today, and I was like, ha, irony. I don't know why. I just laughed my ass off so much for that. I thought about it all day. No, I get that she's being hyperbolic. She does that a lot. But Normandy, terrible comparison. No, it's
an offensive comparison. It's
a very
offensively
offensive
stupid.
comparison. Yeah, that is no. That it might be like your LA riots or something, I guess.
It's not even like that.
No, because most of us weren't in LA. We just saw it on TV.
Nobody's getting pulled out of their semi and beaten half to death over voting this time.
Well, not yet, but somebody might be, and I'll watch it on TV, just like I did the LA riots.
Any woman on Twitter that I see, whether they agree with me or not, if they're pretty, I immediately just assume they're stupid. And 99% of the time, I've been proven right.
And once you start doing
they
that,
will
with the
eventually
ugly
say,
ones and the mediocres, you'll be on to something.
see, it's been my experience that the mediocre ones or the mid or less, because the uggos too, there's a few of them. They actually have to be intelligent to get ahead rather than, look, I have titties.
Yeah, that's true.
I have titties and a smile. Look how smart I am. And look, it's just human nature. When we men see a pretty woman, we're like, damn, she seems smart. She hasn't said a word.
We just lie to them.
Yeah, she could be. No, we lie to ourselves.
Oh,
we lie to ourselves. Fair. Yeah, like she seems smart. Like she's drooling, man. Look how smart she looks with those double D's.
She's smart enough to hold my seed.
She seems nice. Like she's punching somebody. What are you talking? But look at that smile. It sparkles.
I mean, the one down further. Thank you, tall person. And some for you, Mr. Jack. Happy National Gunpowder Day. Well, it is Guy Fawkes Day, so side note, I saw even you were disgusted by the death of Peanut the Squirrel and Fred the Raccoon. Did you guys cover that yet? Did you cover Peanut and Fred?
Barely. I don't have much to say on it. Before we get to it, though, I want to address these because we're on this topic. We'll get to them in a second. Monk says, Foo is cute. Yes, she is. And I've only disagreed with her once, and it was an honest disagreement. Josie is cute. I disagree with that. And she says stupid shit. And then he says, Sydney Watson is cute. Sydney's cute, and she's a feminist. So that goes without saying that she's a retard.
Yeah. Sydney occasionally has an okay take, but she's aging very quickly.
Again, just because they agree with me on some stuff, it's always the same. They will say something so goddamn stupid. Normandy, you're voting. Fuck right off.
Yeah. As for Josie, I would plow the shit out of her. I don't know why. Yeah, she's got a bunch of kids too, so that's usually a massive turnoff for me.
She's got those eyes that are piercing.
Yeah.
But if you actually pay attention to her face, she looks like she has Down syndrome.
I don't know. I get distracted by her eyes, I think, actually.
By how smart she is in the breasticle region.
I'm not even a big tit guy, but I just want to bang that chick. I don't know why.
Look, a lot of us who aren't titty men, still, we can't help but look and be like, huh.
Yeah. I also blame the tiny girl brains involved.
All right, so I'm going to let Jack tell us how much he disapproves of a squirrel killing. Jack?
Actually, I'm really torn on this because I fucking hate squirrels, but I also don't think that the government should be authorizing a 5-hour raid on a house for a fucking pet squirrel.
True.
How fucking stupid. What a waste of money and resources. You sent a SWAT team after a goddamn squirrel? Fuck you, retards. Oh, I bit one of the cops. Good. He should know better than to waste time doing that. Don't you have real crime to fight? What a complete fucking waste. Especially when the squirrel was like taken care of and was a household pet.
Yeah.
They probably took the damn thing to the vet several times. It was an internet legend, for God's sake. Fucking stupid. Same with Fred the raccoon. Yes, they're unconventional pets. I don't give a shit. Let them have their stupid pet. It's not affecting my life. If that damn thing's in my attic, it's going to die for sure. But until then, if they want to have their stupid pet and make it internet fine. But some goddamn Karen had to go mess with the bureaucracy and get them all in a Twitter about it. And if they'll do it to the fucking squirrel, they'll absolutely find a reason to come raid your home because of the way you voted. That's the kind of authoritarian bullshit we got to put an end to because it's a waste of resources and it's disgusting.
Guys, Kamala's on the screen, so I don't forget to talk about the next thing I wanted to talk about. That's all. Sorry. Plus, we were talking about dumb women, and it seems appropriate. As far as smart women, hi Nuts, how are you? I was just thinking about you earlier tonight. Like, I haven't seen her in a while. I hope she's okay.
Yeah, hey Nuts.
And if I wasn't on my way to bed, I would have actually reached out to you just to make sure. Yeah, I'm with you, Jack. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do not give a fuck about a squirrel and a raccoon. A squirrel is a long-tailed rat.
Yeah.
But that's not the point. It's the government overreach. And again, I don't think nationally it matters much yet. But it is happening in what that was in New York, right?
Yeah.
If I was in New York right now, I'd be pissed my tax dollars were spent this way.
Yeah, it's a complete waste of resources. They had to go get warrants. They had to go file all the paperwork. They had to get the team organized. All the money that was spent on this was a complete fucking joke. It was some pissant government official got a complaint from a Karen and decided to flex government power in all the wrong ways. This is disgusting. They weren't collecting rainwater and spreading yellow fever. No, this is somebody with a pet squirrel. It's fucking stupid.
Imagine if they did this with a dog. Like we got reports you have a dog, so we're gonna shoot it.
Yeah, you have an unlicensed dog. Yeah, I don't fucking care about that either. Okay, I understand you need for like rabies or whatever. Blah blah blah. Shut up. No, this is a bunch of government officials with too much time on their hands and a way too big of a budget, apparently, deciding they have to justify their existence. It's gross. This is Soviet bullshit. And everybody involved in this should be fired.
Nut says, I seem to be sleeping when you're streaming lately. Don't do a sad face for that. You need sleep. You were sleeping less than me and Jack.
Yeah.
That's not healthy.
No, absolutely not. No.
We're not healthy. Don't outdo us on this. And yes, Sephiroth, I saw many people point that out. Like, if you think what happened with Peanut was bad, you should see what the government did at Waco and Ruby Ridge.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm granted that was back in the 90s, but I'm still pissed off at our government over that shit. I don't know why more people aren't, and they've just gotten worse.
Yeah, because government, unless it's punished, never changes. They just get sneakier about it, and then they do the same thing. It's unnecessary and it's ham-fisted, but they like that because it gets the point across. You learn to be afraid of your government because they're heavy-handed, and they will destroy you. Somebody easily could have got shot in that raid. It's fucking stupid. This whole thing is dumb. And rest in peace, Peanut and Fred. May you sit the right hand of Harambe.
On your screen, Jack, is Kamala Harris, who has made a habit of doing really stupid shit during this campaign.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of pests.
And it came out yesterday that she had done one that went under the radar because it didn't get published. And somehow, I'm not exactly sure how, it finally came out. Kamala went on a TikTok show where this guy asked people questions, and he's not really political, but he got a chance to talk to her, and he says against his own better judgment, he did it. And it should be noted this is a Muslim guy.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole purpose of the show is to kind of give a bad take. You know, it's kind of like, you know, what take would piss everybody off kind of thing. Like cereal is soup, right? Kamala decided to tell a Muslim her opinion that bacon is a spice.
I mean, that's a hot take for you.
She went on a Muslim show to talk about how much she likes bacon.
You like bacon?
She went on a Muslim's show to talk about how much she likes bacon.
Right? Right?
JB asks, is she retarded? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
like
she
I said
is.
On Twitter, that's first grade level Muslim knowledge.
Jesus fuck. And then her reasoning for bacon being a spice, and I'm not making this up. She said, think about it. It's all flavor. Well, so is hamburger, bitch.
Maybe she'll tell that to Vivek later.
Oh, fuck. She went on a Muslim show to preach the value of bacon.
It's kind of gangster in a way, because like it takes balls to do that.
If I thought she was, you know, doing it for that reason, sure, I'd be with her, but absolutely. I don't think she was smart enough to understand what she was doing. I think she was just like, everybody likes bacon, right? I'm gonna say a bacon thing. Bacon's a spice. Hee hee. Man. Brand says, for the record, you come to my house, you're eating bacon. Yeah, Muslims are gonna stay away from your house. That's how you keep them out. You just remember the guy who like left bacon on mosque steps?
Yeah, you got 15 years for hate crime.
Got charged with a fucking hate crime over that.
It's total bullshit.
Yeah, it's stupid edginess, but it's funny. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's fucking hilarious, but
man. Speaking of funny and Kamala, there was a news report the other day. I forget where exactly it was at, but somebody was sending postcards to people who put Kamala signs in their yard, telling them that there was going to be a delivery of illegals to their house for them to house.
Yeah.
And they went to the media over this shit like, they're just trying to intimidate me.
How's that an intimidation tactic? That's what you're voting for.
I don't know. I think it's funny as fuck, though. It's literally what you're voting for. I mean, eventually they're going to run out of places to put them. Where do you think they're going?
Yeah, you're going to have to redistribute the housing. So you're going to have to do like they were doing at some of the hotels and kicking people out and saying, sorry, you're just not, you're not capable of renting this place because we need somebody else here. Oh, you own this house? Well, sorry, we're going to have to eminent domain it so we can give it to some illegals.
You don't even have to eminent domain it. I mean, the Third Amendment only covers quartering soldiers.
Yeah, that's true.
So she can just be like, you got to take the illegals because they're not coming to my house.
We don't want them in Martha's Vineyard, okay? Ugh.
I'm just pointing this one out. We're not going to spend much time on it, but AOC made an ass of herself.
Standing in why?
There was an event in Puerto Rico, and she claimed that it was the Puerto Ricans protesting Trump, basically, and that's not what it was at all.
Was her abuela there?
I don't know if her abuela was there or not. Her abuela comes and goes, Jack.
Yeah, the abuelas are like that. They're phantoms on the wind, like La Llorona.
This one my daughter actually sent me, and we had a great conversation about it. This guy who says, my name is Ryan. I'm 42-year-old husband, father, and veteran. I voted for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz to protect my daughter's right to choose. How about you? And the response is, let me get this straight. The single most important thing in this election to you, of all things, is your daughter being able to be raw dogged without consequences. I mean, is that not what he said?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
She wants to bang strangers at the strip joint she probably works at.
Thank you, Gigi. Evan, after the bacon bit, I have to assume Kamala has the tism, the bad kind. She's straight retarded. She is straight retarded. This is what the election boils down to for a lot of people, and especially these. You're a father, motherfucker. That your big ambition for your daughter is for her to be out there having unprotected sex, possibly picking up diseases, because it's much easier for a guy to give a girl a disease than the other way around.
Yeah.
And your concern is that she can scoop out her uterus.
Yeah, it's important to protect the whores.
You're a dad.
A dad who wants his daughter to whore it up as much as possible and avoid responsibility.
Ebony asks, there's a good kind of tism. Yes, there is. We've seen the power of autism weaponized for the good many times.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, 4chan.
Indeed. Yeah, I cannot imagine being a dad and being like, what I really need is my daughter to get an abortion. Get fucked, man. What about your daughter getting beat up in school with the school's permission because she played dodgeball against dudes?
Look, that chick got some brain injuries, probably spontaneous. There's nothing to see here. Just deal with it, you bigot.
Did you see Megyn Kelly was at Trump's final speech?
Yeah, she endorsed him.
Look, I know she's been endorsing him all along, or at least for several months at least. She's clearly but this is a woman, and he even mentions it like she was mean to me. I still say, if you guys haven't watched it, when they sat down together this election cycle, it's a really good interview.
It was shockingly good.
And they even address, the issues they've had with each other, and it was great. But yeah, I wasn't a real fan of her speech that she gave there with Trump because she didn't deliver it very well.
I think she was pretty nervous, though.
Yeah, she really did come off that way. I mean, and that is a bigger crowd than she's ever had being on mainstream media.
Yeah.
But it was neat to see her endorse him after all of the shit the two of those have been through.
Yeah, she went from Trump hater to spokesman for him, like telling people to go vote. Not only did she cast her vote, she said, get 10 of your friends to vote for Trump.
Indeed.
That is shocking.
I just want to play this. We're going to turn off the music because even though I like the music, it's probably copyrighted. I don't like getting the little yellow thing saying, hey, we're keeping your money, all 30 cents of it. But this is kind of telling, man. This is Amish country, and you got these horse and buggies with Trump and American flags.
It's kind of awesome.
What do you think stinks more, the horse or the cart? It's hard to tell how warm it is, so that's a hard guess.
I'm gonna go with both. Actually, it's probably the cart.
Look, Amish people stink because they don't bathe enough. Okay, that's
Yeah, they typically don't have running water.
yeah. They're nice people, but they do stink. They
Yeah.
smell French.
Yeah, that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah. And she managed to tell Mark Cuban to kick rocks. Yeah, Mark Cuban came out and said that Trump is never seen with intelligent women. You know, because he's supporting the party of women.
Yeah.
How many languages does Melania speak?
Like 5.
Anyway, yeah, fuck that guy. Or deodorant. Yeah, they don't have deodorant. The French don't bathe at all, Monk. I know. I mean, the Amish are of German descent, but I can only imagine that originally it's from France. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, say what you will about the Pakistanis. At least when they bathe, it's in cologne.
What else do we have today? I do want to talk about this just briefly, Jack. I see a whole lot of this still going on with people like the polls are trying to keep you from voting. When did we become those people, Jack? I've never been somebody who's like, I might lose, so I'm gonna quit.
I don't know. And I've never had a Polish person try and stop me for anything.
Not those polls.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. POLL.
Well, I'm sure they spelled that way too. But God, I'm on fire today. I don't know what's going on. I'm just being mean to everybody. Yeah. Oh, first sign of problems. Time to give up.
Yeah. What the fuck has become of America, you pussies?
Well, if streaming is the hardest job you've ever had, then
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's a reflection on all of us.
Yeah, you're not wrong, I guess. But goddamn, man, stop letting. They're trying to demoralize us. Stop being a bitch.
Yeah, of course they're trying to demoralize you. Suck it up and get back in there, soldier.
Yeah, that way you can rub it in their face when you win. What part of being American got lost, man? Because we've lost something. I blame women. I'm sorry, because y'all women are like, we got to be nice to. No. Fuck that. I'm gonna be if Trump wins this, Jack, I will probably be unbearable on Twitter for at least a week. Because the shit that they've pulled and the bullshit that has been spoken, I'm going to enjoy every fucking moment of rubbing it in people's faces. Just saying.
Yeah, I get it.
All right. This one is kind of long, but it's funny, so we have to watch it. This is just a palate cleanser. Thank you, Gigi Evan. They pulled out Dick Van Dyke for Kamala. Yeah. How dare you be that mean to Dick Van Dyke?
Seriously, Dick Van Dyke? He's like 100.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's stupid old.
Yeah, he's old as fuck. I remember when he was a guest star on Scrubs, and he looked bad.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be in his 90s.
All right.
Real quick, I need to speak to Louis Button, the dude that makes these handbags, backpacks, whatever they are.
Have you seen this?
No.
Chickens, and when I go down to collect eggs from the chickens, I use the little white plastic bags from Walmart. Go down there to the chicken coop, put the eggs in bags, come back up, ta-da, we're done. Yesterday, we didn't have any bags. Like, we were out, and I don't know where to get more because I don't know if we had just not got groceries or what. So I went into our room, and my backpack that I used to travel was full of stuff, and I couldn't find any more bags, so I grabbed this freaking Louis Button, Louis, whatever it is.
Two things. One, I love when rednecks tell stories because they just cut straight to it.
Yeah.
Monk, I'm sorry you have to be the one to tell you this. Not everything is women's fault. It's women's fault, but men are to blame because we catered to y'all. I stand by that. How dare you, lady?
It's always women's fault. but there's likely a connection.
But two, the other reason to stop it, gentlemen, I don't care what you need the bag for. Never grab your wife's purse.
Well, yeah, I'm sure this is a joke.
I'm sure it is too, but the end of it's funny. So,
Out of my wife's closet, Louis Vuitton. I was like, all right, it's no big deal. I'll just go down there, I'll collect eggs in it, bring it back up here, put the eggs in the fridge, and no one will know the difference. Then on the way back up, one of the eggs busted when I was unloading them. So I got them all out of there except the busted egg and put the backpack under the sink and started washing it out. And my wife walked in, and to say that she had a third-rate come apart is being mild.
I've never heard that term before. A third
I've
rate
not either, but it's
come
kind of
apart.
funny.
All right. Wait for it.
I was like, what? I'll just wash it out. It's no big deal. Just wash it out, and it's fine. So in between exorcisms,
That's not me.
she managed to say, you're buying me a new one. That one's through. I'm like, fine, I'll just freaking buy a new one. No, I won't. No, I will not. I don't know whatever medieval African camel hair that Lewis is making his bags out of, but I'm done. $2,500 for one of these things. My wife is no longer allowed in your store, Lewis.
I just love it. I'll buy you. No, I won't. No, I won't. You ever seen the prices of purses and shit, dude?
I used to sell purses professionally.
Oh, so there you go. Yeah, they're retardedly what a medieval camel hair or African camel hair he makes his bags out of. Just a little laugh, guys. Yeah, women, stop paying so much for purses.
Yeah,
it's a bag.
It's ridiculous. Oh, people pay a lot of money for their bags. It's very bizarre.
Have you bought Lady Monkey a Louis Vuitton? No, Lady Monkey can buy whatever purse she wants. Would I ever do it? No, because I would obviously pick the wrong one, because I would go in there and go, this one looks nice. And I'd show it to my wife and she'd go, no. And she'd pick something ugly because women like ugly shit.
They kind of do.
Well, that bag that he holds up, my wife has a purse that looks like this. It's not a Louis Vuitton. It's a different big name designer guy. And it's a very similar look. Wait, I'm trying to find where he holds up the bag on here. There it is. There we go. This is ugly. I don't know who has decided that this is attractive.
Can't see it.
I know, I'm bringing it up.
Oh.
It's brown and light brown, and it's got some shapes on it.
Yeah, the shapes are usually the company logo or the initials of the designer.
Yeah, the one that my wife has like this, it's all the initials of the designer on it.
Yeah,
and she loves it, and that's great for her. But I look at it and I'm just like, that's ugly as shit.
Yeah, they do that with all the major brands. So even Nine West did it for a while, which kind of surprised everybody.
All of our wives have that ugly brown and black bag. Why? Look, there's women in the audience. What is attractive about this? This looks like somebody made a bag out of the 70s.
Well, the color pattern has to fit what they're wearing the bag for, because they have different bags for different occasions. So if you're wearing your little black dress, you want a black bag, usually a clutch to go with that. And it'll be the style and size are dependent on what kind of outfit they're wearing. I know way too much about it.
I hear you and I understand all that, but if you were being smart, a simple white or a simple black would fit with everything.
Yes, but you also need to show off that you can get one of these bags and you're so well taken care of that you get one.
I don't understand why women buy this ugly shit. And it's same with shoes. Like, look, my wife says, aren't these shoes cute? And I'm like, it's a shoe.
Yeah.
The only time I've ever described shoes as cute is when they're for babies, because then they are cute. Like, look how tiny the shoe is.
Look at that little kid. Oh my God, he's adorable.
But I've never looked at shoes for adults and went, that is so cute. I'm like, it's a shoe. It's a shoe.
Well,
why do
they get
men buy
brainwashed.
fast cars? Because cars are fast, and It's fun to drive fast. I make fun of people who buy ugly cars too. All these people out there that are, the Tesla truck looks so cool. It looked better when it was a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah, it did. It was awesome.
Thank you, Evolved Potato. Women like ugly shit. Ranting Monkey talking about what his wife thinks looks nice. Mug, does your wife think you look nice? No. She got bad taste. No, of course she does. I'm an attractive man. That doesn't mean everything she likes is attractive. You should see her when she talks about cross-eyed, fat, buck-toothed women. And she's like, she's so cute. I know she's not.
Stop lying to yourself.
You're only saying that because women are supposed to say that. If you were honest, you'd be like, that bitch looked like God hated her. Oh, Christ. What else do we have going on here? Oh, our good friend Mike Harlow had to find out he's normal from JD Vance.
Oh, poor Mike.
Poor Mike. You had to be called normal by the weird guy. He has a great video. I'm going to toss it into chat here where he talks about more than that. In fact, he doesn't even say it that way. That's my joke on it. But where he's talking about gay people, and he says, Trump's not anti-gay, but even if he was, who cares? Because gay is not the most important thing in the world.
Yeah, well, that's gonna get canceled,
right? How dare a gay man say that gay is not the most important thing in the world?
Yeah, you gotta silence that shit fast.
When was the last time you wore out a pair of shoes? When I worked at Walmart, I used to go through shoes like crazy at Walmart.
Oh, you're walking around all day.
Yeah. And then suddenly one day my foot gets wet from beneath. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, shit. I should probably pay more attention to my shoes.
Time to go get some shoes.
Yep. Saturday Night Live broke the law the other day, having Kamala Harris on. Just saying. There are still fair time rules, Jack, and
yep.
they're within, 90 days of the election or something like that, where you have to offer equal time to both candidates, and they bring her on in a surprise 3 days before the election.
Yeah. Well, when Trump wins, maybe his DOJ will prosecute them to the fullest extent of the law.
It won't matter anyway, because worst case scenario, they'll get a fine that some backer will pay for them. There's no punishment for it. So why is it even a law?
No, you see, obviously this is an attempt at an insurrection, so they should be held accordingly. Same rules as January 6th defendants.
It's just asinine to me that this kind of shit is allowed. It just proves how worthless these federal agencies are.
Yeah. Well, selective enforcement and all that.
SNL is relevant. I mean, in the context of this discussion, yes, because they're on broadcast television. Those are our airwaves. And they can't follow the fucking rules, so fuck them. Did that dude delete his tweet trying to explain that dumbass Iowa poll?
Probably.
Oh, fuck me. There's Peanut the squirrel. For those of you who think that I don't care at all, I did share a video of him. He was adorable.
Yeah, tree rat.
Is there anything else I want to talk about? Not really. We got a lot of talking coming up. We'll end with this post and discussing it, Jack. I see you dropped some things. We'll check that out too. Mark Ruffalo came out and said that Trump, we read this the other day, but I just want to highlight who is supporting Kamala. He re-examines all of the bleach and the light bulb, which he says Trump wanted to stick up your. They actually do use light bulbs in treatments. They stick down your throat.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. This is Pedo Lover. And somebody put on Twitter a list of the people who have supported Donald Trump Tulsi and Elon and people who were hardcore lefties not that long ago, Jack.
Oh yeah.
And then the people who've come out for Kamala. And it's all people on the Diddy list.
Weird how that happens.
Or people like Mark here who spoke well of a guy who raped a 9-year-old boy.
Yep, his buddy JoJo.
There's a major difference in this election, and you should vote accordingly. The culture war is still going on, and if they win this, it's gonna get so much worse than it is right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now they have a mandate.
Pyrus says 5 boys. The reason I point out the 9-year-old is because, as far as I know, that's the only one that we know the extent of. Yes, JoJo was JoJo being the guy who was trying to attack Kyle Rittenhouse and got shot. He abused 5 children, and the only real details we know is that he raped a 9-year-old. So, yeah, our little pedophile lover here, he wants you to know that you should vote for Kamala. Vote accordingly. All right, Jack, what we got here? Oh, God, you're going to make me watch Rachel Maddow. I thought we were friends. I thought we was friends, man.
Sorry, man.
Why we got Hannity's ugly little lesbian sister? Let's see what this idiot has to say. All right, dummy, take it away.
But even if Trump doesn't win, the Defense Department and NASA are going to need a new arrangement for all their rockets and for all the multi-billion-dollar contracts Elon Musk's companies have with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is going to have to either, unwind from all of those contracts, or Elon Musk's companies are going to have to unwind from him. This is an untenable reality.
Is she talking about because he's going to go work for the Trump campaign or for the Trump White House?
Yes.
Well, then she says even if he wins, the only way it would only be if he wins.
Oh no, they got to punish him.
Well, yeah, I mean that part, but if she's explaining why it has to happen because of Trump, all right, and that's not necessarily true, by the way.
It is if you want to punish your enemies for their wrong stances. This is a threat.
It's absolutely a threat. And we'll finish listening to it here in a second as soon as my donation finishes loading. Thank you so much, Ghost of Shinzo Abe. Happy election day. If Trump loses, I'm giving every FBI branch a hot tip that there's going to be a squirrel-led insurrection in the halls of Congress come January 6, 2024. I think you mean 2025. But otherwise, yes. Because we are in 2024 right now, right?
As far as I know.
This is what happens when you don't have to write the date that often. You forget what the fucking date is. Anyway, yeah, we are in 2024, right? Yeah, because the election year is 2024. Anyway, let my senior moment pass.
In national security terms, now that we know what we know about Elon Musk.
What do we know about Elon Musk? The clip doesn't tell us.
He's
just that he's
thinker.
Elon Musk.
He's a dirty wrong thinker.
Oh, okay. Hey, Rachel, why don't we ask the people up on the space station if they want to get rid of Elon Musk? You know, the guy that's bringing them home after their 8-day tour?
Yeah, a 3-hour tour.
Let's see if they think he's a danger.
The space version of Gilligan's Island is going to side with Elon, I think.
Yeah, I have a feeling that might go that way. Oh, dear Christ. Why does bitch look like Prince? This looks like Prince when he's in his 80s.
Yeah, something to do. That's Cardi B.
Is that who that is? I don't know these people.
She gave a speech at a Kamala rally, and the teleprompter went out, so somebody had to hand her phone so she could read the speech.
Wonderful. How is anybody in Kamala's orbit not making sure that the teleprompters work 100% of the time?
I don't think they understand how any of it works. So
look, this is your candidate who, when it went out, and he's 32 days, 32 comes after 31, but before 33. 33 is a big number.
It's
31
a small number.
Is a small number. I mean, if I was in her campaign, this would be my number one priority, is making sure that thing never fucks up.
Yeah. I want to thank Evil One for sending me this, because this made me laugh for some stupid fucking reason.
All right, let's hear it.
I believe in every word that comes out of her mouth. She's passionate. She's compassionate.
Oh, fuck. I was not expecting the voice changer.
I know.
Oh, I believe it was 42. Look it up. It was 32. I promise. I'm not that old yet. Again, Shinzo Abe, thank you. Ghost of Shinzo Abe. Don't tell anybody, but time traveling squirrels are the real project 2025. Viva la Squirrel Surrection 2024. There you go. All right, I got to keep watching. Jesus fuck.
She shows empathy, and most of all, she is not delusional.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
No. Whew.
Yeah. Kamala recognizes this country's at risk, that the economy needs to get stronger, that the cost of food and the cost of living is too high. Damn, it's even hard for me.
Oh, my God. This is wonderful. Whoever did this, you are a legend. Oh,
yeah, I almost did a spit take when I heard that voice for the first time, and it just kept getting funny.
She says, under her, buying eggs and milk won't break the bank, because she's gonna pass a ban on price dodging on groceries. And she told me that in my face. So she better not lie to me in my face. Yeah.
You better not lie in my face. Oh, fuck, man. Oh, you know what? That was worth having to watch Rachel Maddow. Oh, my God.
Now, I hate to ask, but
yeah,
do you think you have an extra 2 minutes?
What you got?
There's just one more that Evil One also sent me that I forgot about, and I kind of want to see your reaction to it.
How sad are you gonna be if I've already seen it?
I'll be a little sad. Have you already seen it?
I have not seen this.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Don't touch me.
So what this guy does is he animates actual police audio.
Is that first one from a really famous traveler? What are they called? Sovereign?
No.
Because that clip sounded very familiar.
No, this is just some random thing. I've never heard this one before, but it's funny as shit. I found it hilarious. I don't know if you're going to find it funny or not.
If I had something to drink.
Based on your driving, based on your self-admission of drinking, I got to put you through some field sobriety
Go ahead,
tests.
do it, baby. I love it. Hey. Let's do it. Let's teach them how to do it. Hey.
Back up.
Don't touch me. I'm a woman.
Stand over there right now.
I'm a woman.
I think I have seen the actual video of this one.
Probably.
I fucking tell attorneys what to do. Who the fuck do you think you are?
That's good. I'm so proud of you.
Let's make it better.
How about you listen to us and
how
stand over
about
here?
you chill the fuck
Out
out?
my face and stand over here.
Put your hands on me.
Okay, stand over here.
Ever.
Will you submit to field sobriety, standardized field sobriety tests?
Look, we should not laugh at drunk people because they have a problem and should, especially women, don't drink. But it is funny when they just yell for no reason.
It can be, yeah.
Hi. It's like they're going on a war party.
It's my war
Maybe-
face.
You should just go home now. What do you want me to do? Ah, this is gonna be fun.
Do you have any eye
That's-
problems? Do you have any eye problems or
Yes, I
abnormalities?
do. My eyes are fucked up.
Your eyes are fucked up. What does that mean?
You know what that means.
I
You
don't
probably
know what
can't
that
see
means.
either.
Put your feet together with your.
Maybe when you're drunk, you shouldn't tell the cop you can't see.
She can't see because she's so blitzed out of her fucking mind.
Oh, remember, Michael Ian Black says that the smartest, most creative people on the planet are endorsing Kamala. I think Michael Ian Black can be funny, but I would never turn to him for political advice.
No.
It just also so happens the most child touching on the planet are endorsing Kamala too.
Yeah,
Your
I
hands
don't care how creative you are. If you're a fucking idiot when it comes to voting, then that's a different field altogether.
You see, David Duke has endorsed Kamala, and the dude from BLM is endorsing Trump.
Wow. I saw somebody endorse Jill Stein. I'm like, why? Who cares? Some irrelevant person endorsing them.
Your sides. Keep your head still and look at the stimulus.
You know, my eyes burning, but it's okay. So I don't like that.
Don't put your hands on me. You put your hands on me, you're going right in cuffs.
Maybe
You know what? We're done.
Don't put your don't put your. Oh
Yeah,
wow! Oh, I'm a woman.
Good. I know you're a woman.
Hey!
The IE gets me every time.
The rolling around tussling cracked me up so fucking bad. And then he's like, good, I know you're a woman. And you just hear the car door shut. It cracked me up.
Yeah, if I haven't seen that one, the real version of it, I've seen one very close. I spent like 2 days watching drunk women get arrested one time. There's tons of videos on YouTube if you guys want to watch. It's funny how similar they are.
Well, tiny girl brains.
It really is amazing. So David Duke hasn't changed his vote, but BLM guy did. Yes. And with that, guys, we got another one in the books. We will be here tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern time for election coverage. It might be a little earlier. I will do my best to make sure it's not any later than that, because I want to be here as the polls start closing. Seriously, we're watching the East Coast this time, because the big three that matter, North Carolina, Georgia, and Pennsylvania, if they all go Trump, they decide this election. And the other four swings won't matter at all, other than to embarrass Kamala.
Which I'm all for.
Oh, me too.
I really hope this is like Mondale and he just annihilates her, sends a message.
You know how much it can't be like Mondale, because she's going to win the 54 votes out of California.
Yeah, but it can get as close as we can.
Yeah. I just really, really, really hope she ends up losing both Minnesota and Michigan over the bacon spice thing, because that would be amazing.
That'd be hilarious. Dangerous said he's about to send you a super chat.
Dangerous, thank you. I know what it's like to financially struggle because I grew up middle class. To back me up on that, here is multimillionaire endorser number 68. That's a bold strategy, a bold campaign strategy, Cotton.
It really is.
I pointed out early on in this that all of the people supporting her are very wealthy.
Yeah, it's a bunch of elitists. There's no middle class anything here.
Go vote if you haven't. I'll know. Twisted Jack, you're gonna catch a charge that way. You're not supposed to be out there watching people that closely. You're gonna catch an RO.
Don't worry, the first couple are pretty easy.
Yeah, it's that third one that gets you.
Yeah.
Guys, if you watch this show, you should be informed enough to go vote. If you know anybody dumber than that, please tell them to stay home. Laura Loomer, you should not be voting, even though I know you're going to vote for Trump. You're too fucking retarded for words. You shouldn't vote. You're dumb. And dumb people should not be encouraged to vote just because they're on your side. Anyway, Jack, Trump wins it?
I think so.
Me too. Me too.
Unless there's a lot of shenanigans, I think he's pretty well. I think he's leading a lot more strongly than the so-called polls are projecting.
I think the polls being that close prove it. There was a guy on Megyn Kelly the other day from Emerson College. For those of you who don't know, they do a lot of polling. And he was talking about, I think it was Wisconsin specifically, where the polling has gotten it wrong over and over and over again when it comes to Trump. And Megyn asked, like, why is that? And he said, because white guys. When they're doing the polling, they have been either white guys have been lying to them or they've been underrepresented in the polling.
Mm-hmm.
And so when polling day or when the actual election happens, he does much better with that demographic, and they're always shocked by it. So I think we're going to see a lot of that this time. I think there's a lot of people who support Trump who are afraid to say it out loud. I think even more so, the polling is always skewed towards the Democrats. And for it to be this close, I think it means Trump is actually comfortably ahead.
Yes. Way more so than anybody thought before. Plus, there's all those guys. I saw a commercial of the guys are telling their wives how to vote.
Oh, God, yeah.
And people were reporting on Twitter that there was somebody next to them that was like, check the right box. And obviously that's going to make a massive difference this time around.
Yeah, I saw the ads that they tried putting out where like women have to we have to hide who we're voting for. You ladies should stop marrying male feminists so you don't get your ass beat for how you vote.
Yeah.
But as I just pointed out with that Wisconsin thing, I mean, they're not the ones who are hiding how they're voting.
Yep.
It's the men. And Kingslayer, Damocles, it's your birthday.
What?
Oh, it was yesterday. That's all right. We still have time for that.
Oh, stuff.
This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy
birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
birthday, dear King Damocles.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. I hope you had a great one. I really, really do. And on that note, we are wrapping up. 8 p.m. tonight, guys. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so, so kind. I know you can watch a whole bunch of people who are stealing our shit, doing what we've been doing for a long time now. But come watch us instead. I promise you it'll be more fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
Anything you want to shield, Jack?
I already dropped links to stuff. As always, thank you guys so much for the donations. It really, really helps. Keeps the show going and our bills paid. And this is not the hardest job in the universe, despite what all those fucking lazy streamers tell you. But tomorrow will be a long day, so buckle in. We're going to get some results. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm not doing anything else. We will get back to game streaming. I know we've only done one since I've been back to it, but we will get back to that. But not tonight. I'm resting my voice, Jack, because we got a long one.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you guys then. Jack, a pleasure as always, my friend.
I'm always glad to be here.
Take care, guys. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
I sing at the end of my show. And now it's over and time to go. Kamala Harris is a dirty, dirty hoe.